you were just outworking your competition, right? And people say they will do that, but when the rubber meets the road, they don't.
I knew that if I was going to start my business, like I was going to start my business. I wasn't going to like be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I wasn't going to like, if you're in it, you're in it. It's like your child, it's like, it's like your baby. So like, if you mess with my child,
it's not going to go over well.
I don't think I can't say that on camera, but it's not going to be.
We'll edit it out, right? Welcome back to the Reganar Report. On this episode, we have Erica Current, which is the Skin Room. The famous Skin Room. Welcome to the podcast, Erica.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited for this podcast. I've known Erica for a long time, and I admire a lot of what she's built within her business. We have amazing individuals on this podcast, built businesses, obviously have endured different changes, COVID, whatever, economical changes and stuff like that. And Erica has started her business and has done nothing but persevering, growing, has a great name in town. Clients love working with her. She's obviously helped myself, helped Clarissa, my mother. I mean, she's helped a lot of different people, and I know a lot of people that go to her. So she has a great name in town. And so we're excited to have you on this podcast, talk about that journey of growing a business, talk about what you do and everything like that. So welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So Erica, what is it you do? Obviously, it's the Skin Room, right? So tell me, are you a doctor? Like what, tell me about this.
Well, you are what you say you are.
Right? Believe it, right?
So I'm a medical esthetician, and I do skin all day long, all day, every day.
So you take care of skin, correct skin, like what do you mean?
Yep, do lots of correction, a lot of preventative maintenance, I would say.
Preventative. What do you mean by that? I'm still, even though you've helped me and I've gotten hydrofacials, right? And something else. It was a P something.
PRX. It's
PRX.
Yep.
I got that. I still don't understand it though. Like you gotta help. No, like just in general. Like what do you mean preventative? Like I thought if I just wash my face, like it's enough. Is that like nails on a chalkboard to you or what?
Yeah, it is. So sunscreen, do you SPF?
I need that restock of that one that you got me.
Yeah, it's been a while since you needed the restock.
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't do sunscreen.
So we'll start there. So sunscreen, but just getting regular treatments like, once a month, the deep cleansing, the peels, the microneedling. We did PRX on you, which is biorevitalization. So just a lot of collagen building treatments.
Okay. Yeah.
It is really important for maintenance once you get the results, which you will. Mm-hmm. Once you get there, just keeping those results, it's so important. So you want to maintain and just keep up with it, whether that's once a month. I have clients that come in every 2 weeks. I have some that are, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. So it kind of just varies on the skin.
It probably depends on
what they need,
how their skin is and everything like that.
Yeah, totally.
So how'd you get into this?
I was in school for science. I thought I kind of wanted to go into dermatology.
Okay.
Dermatology was more skin disease, and I like skin health. And so, once I graduated college, I was looking into the medical aesthetics program. They had that. It was paramedical program.
Okay.
So I went into that. It was about a year long or so. And then started working for plastic surgeons, did that. It's been 8 years. This is my third year with my business. So
it's your third year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're working like alongside with a doctor as like, what is it, esthetician on site kind of thing?
Yeah. Plastic surgeon. So
gotcha.
He, a lot of like, post-op treatments and pre-op, just maintaining their results that they get from their facelifts or lasers or anything like that.
So obviously you enjoyed what you did, but you kind of probably got to a point where you wanted to venture out on your own. And what helped you, or what made you decide to say, you know what, I love this. I love helping out, the plastic surgeon. But why did you decide to go out on your own? So
I decided, it was during during quarantine. So we were kind of in our house doing not much. And I just was like, I'm going to take this time and just kind of figure out what the next step is for me and what I want to do. And I knew I was good at what I did. And I loved it. I'm like obsessed with it. It's amazing. But I knew I could do more and get better results. I just needed to be able to utilize the tools that I could. When you do work for, a plastic surgeon or whoever, there's a lot of times where, which I understand from a business standpoint, you have to, use what they give you to use. And, you oftentimes there were, certain peels I'd want to bring in. Like I knew I could get this result. I just had to do X, Y, and Z. So
they kind of not put limits, but like pushed you in a certain direction, maybe?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I just was like, you know what, this is it. I know what I'm doing. I'm good at it. I'm just going to, see what happens. So the entire time we were in quarantine, I just like grinded and built my business. And I was like 24/7. So nothing's changed. just kept the pace.
So fun fact, me and Erica, I launched my business in March of 2020 officially. Built some relationships before that, probably, in a sense, same thing. You were brainstorming and whatnot, but that was officially when I launched it. So, it's something that, in a sense, we've known each other and we've been watching each other's business grow. Mm-hmm. And, it is a grind. And there's a lot of times that I was grinding and just go. And obviously I was seeing you do it too. I remember sometimes when I was more regular and I was coming in for the facials, I was getting done with work and she's like, the only time I can get you in is, 8 p.m. I'm like, Erica, like, it's okay. She's like, no, literally that's it. Like, that's the only time I can. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm working hard, but like, dang, girl, like, so like, I think people don't understand what work really means.
Right. No, I agree. I will. Yeah. Okay.
Like they think it means like, oh, I show up at 9, I get an hour lunch break, and I go home at, 4:45, 5, right? Like that's it, right? I worked hard today. But did you?
What'd you do?
And it's, it's the thing is like, and I saw you do this, and obviously we had discussions as our business were growing and struggles of things and bouncing ideas from a peer-to-peer standpoint. And like, you were just outworking your competition, right? And people say they will do that, but when the rubber meets the road, they don't, right? They don't do it.
Right. And I think that has a lot to do with, the passion that I do have for skincare, the industry as a whole. I think that, it's tough. It's tough. You do what you got to do. And I knew that if I was going to start my business, like I was going to start my business, I wasn't going to like be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I wasn't going to like, if you're in it, you're in it. You should work hard. Everyone should work hard. And that's just, how my parents raised me. That's how I've been my entire life. And when it's like your child, it's like, it's like your baby. So like, if you mess with my child,
it's not going to go over well.
I don't think I can't say that on camera, but it's not going to be.
We'll edit it out, right? You're so right though. Like you were all in, and it's also like, I don't know about you. I put myself in a situation like I didn't have a choice. Like I had to succeed. It was like I put myself in the corner. And I was like, I got to fight my way out. Mm-hmm. I bet you did very similar situation. Yeah. Right?
Don't we all?
Right? We have to almost in a sense.
And that's it. It's, you are in a corner, like you said, and it's like, you're going to sink or swim.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously you worked hard and you were definitely grinding, you were building a business, and, we can talk about the good and the amazing things you're doing right now. But I actually want to talk about a little bit of like that struggle where like, we talked about both, in a sense being burnt out and stuff like that, right? Like how did you deal with that? Like, did you get burned out?
I did. You can only go for so long before you're tapped. But yeah, there was a time I started to get pretty burnt out, and I could just tell, I had like an extreme passion for it. So I still loved it. I still love showing up for my clients. That's never changed. But the energy, it's tough. So yeah, I mean yeah.
Like you're in it and you're obviously doing amazing things still, but it's like sometimes like you are just your mental capacity, right? Like it's not that you weren't passionate about it anymore, because I know you're passionate, and like I will attest to the comment you just said, like you love skin. Like sometimes I'm like especially when I was like, it's like you're like, what the heck? Like, and you get all excited and you're like, yeah, oh my gosh, you have dirt here. And I was like, yeah, I have a beard. Like, I don't know what you want to tell me. Like, you know, it's like, so it's like those things that like, I know you're passionate, but when you were burnt out and when I was burnt out, like you lose that fire, you know what I mean? Which is, I didn't even mean that, which is kind of a pun because it's burnt out, right? But like, you lose that like thrill kind of behind it, you know? You still care, you still want to do good, but it's like, I almost like don't have that last gear or whatever you want to call it. So
yeah, totally. And I didn't realize I had no idea. Like, I was getting burnt out. I didn't even know what this was. And, you know, my dad, he's like one of my best friends, biggest fan. Love him.
Shout out, Dad.
Shout out, Dad. Oh. He called me and he's like, hi, let's talk. Like, let's meet up. I'm like, okay. So
like, everything okay, Dad?
Like,
yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Like,
do I need to drop everything like right now? Like,
because I will, but please understand, I have skin to do.
Yeah.
So
I want to do skin.
Yeah. So he was just like, listen, this is around the same time, Tatiana and I started planning the gala, Project Outreach, and the second one. And he was just like, listen, you can't keep doing it. It's like around the clock. You can't do this. Like, you're going to kill yourself. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm good. I'm fine. You know? And he's like, well, you're not, because you know, he would call and I'd be really short and like, I got to go. And that's not good. You know, you want to find balance. And that's been like, I will say it's still, even today, it's not a struggle, but yeah, we'll call it a struggle
I struggle with it.
It's a struggle. It's what it is. To find, you know, the balance between, you know, work and friends and, you know, family and boyfriends and this and that. And it's like, that's just where it's.
So when you got that call from your dad and you're kind of like, he gave you the kind of the gut check that you needed, right? Because usually it comes from your loved ones, the people that mean the most to you, right? Sometimes we don't listen to the ones that mean the most to us, right? But usually it does come from them. What did you do? What was your first few steps in changing it so that you weren't getting burnt out? Because I guarantee someone's listening is like, I'm at that spot. I'm literally burnt out. I don't have any more fire.
Yeah.
I'm done. So what would you give to the younger Erica?
For me personally, it was all of the extras. Like, you know, I was hitting like the 9-10 clients a day. I was doing the 12, 13, 14 hours. Like, and that also is not sustainable. But when you start adding in, you know, the events and, you know, just the extras, you know, outside the business, it's like, but still for the business, because, you know, you want to network, you want to be out there, you want to go to, you know, this and this, and you want to be able to show up for your friends, and you want to, that's when it starts to get tricky, because it's like you can't be 100% in all areas, even though like I would love to be. It starts to take from relationships and, you know, whatever the situation may be. So for me, it was learning to say no, which was, my assistant's like, when is this going to start? Like, I'm still not great at it, but that's why I'm sitting here right now.
Right? She moved things around to be on this podcast, everyone.
But yeah, it's, you know, it's just saying no, like, you can't do everything.
So it's easier said than done, right? And I struggle with it. I think if you're a successful business owner and entrepreneur, you will always struggle with it your whole life when you run businesses, because you're not the only one. Trust me, everyone deals with it. But saying no is so important. And like, I love that you gave the understanding that it's not always to the business. Like we're not saying you got to say no to the business. Like obviously that is what's supplying a lot of the other parts of your life. If it's your family, if it's your traveling, what makes you happy, different things, right? Maybe it's your means to an end. It gives you the money to be able to travel, which is what you live for, right? Or food, or what, you know what I mean? It's like, there's a lot of different reasons. So it's like, you gotta pick and choose. I don't think it's good to X out everything, right? You should have some friends in there. You should obviously have family, different things like that. But it's like figuring out how to figure out a good balance. And it's very, very tricky.
It's so hard, especially in Naples when
there's something every night.
Eventing season at all times. So
it's so crazy.
It's
I moved all my events to not even be close to this time. Like, cause I'm like, I don't even want, like, I'm so over events during these time of the, like this crazy. Time we're recording here in January, and it's like November, December, January, and February is like just sensory overload.
It's too much. It's a lot. And we had our first meeting last week for the gala in December. So it's like, finish one,
plan the next.
To the next,
You want to do 7?
You gotta do
it. Yep. It's a fun time. So this gala you do, right? It's amazing.
It's incredible.
I'm so bummed this last one I missed, but the one before I was there, and it really is remarkable. You bring together so many amazing people. You guys do a great job of it, and you raise tons of money for an amazing organization. So
thank you.
I want to ask you though, how hard is it to plan an event?
There's a lot.
Sorry, let me rephrase that, Erica. How hard is it to plan a amazing event? Because you guys throw a good one. People throw events, and not discredit them, but they're not an event like you throw.
Well,
and so I do want to give you the credit.
Appreciate that.
I know it takes a lot for that level of event. So I gotta say it correctly. It's an amazing event. So go ahead.
Thank you. What's definitely a team, it's myself, Tatiana Britz, and Christine. She's Sip Shop Socialize events, and then T is Tatiana's Lashes and Brows. So it's great because we each have our strengths and we work so well together. And what one person can do, the other can do something else, and it's so nice. It's such a good collaboration.
Right.
Now that we are part of the board with Project Outreach, we have all their support as well. So that's been extremely helpful. And
that's awesome.
It's really about, I would say, mostly the details. Like we're really, each and every little detail. We just want to make sure that, at the end of the day, that people are still coming out. It's a good call. It's an amazing cause. And we don't forget why we're, doing it. We just want everybody to enjoy their time.
So you run a business to take care of skin. Why did you do an event?
Why did we we're gonna have to cut this one out. So I'm like, this is a good question. I didn't see this one coming.
I threw you a curveball.
Yeah. We decided, Tatiana and myself had a conversation one day 3 years ago when we first did our original event, and we were coming up with ideas of like something different. We wanted to do something that would, support the community, make it what it is, and just get everyone involved. But we didn't really know what that looked like. And at the time, a few years ago, there really wasn't. I mean, this eventing that's happening is really like increased the past couple years.
Post-COVID, huge.
I mean, it was not like this. So we were like, okay, we can get small businesses involved, and we can, have them come in as vendors and, display their products or whatever they, want to do. And in return, we can sell tickets, and people can come in and they can experience the, whatever the business is that's, that's sponsoring. But we really wanted to give back to the community, and like, I love Naples. I love this community. I thought it was really important that we give back in some way. And we were connected with Angie and Julie. They run Project Outreach, and it's it's been so incredible. So all the donations, everything, all the proceeds go straight to them, and it's such a blessing.
Well, it's amazing. I mean, you guys do throw an amazing event. You get amazing people together. And, I know because I throw a lot of events, it's kind of a loaded question, how much work they are. Okay. And I do want to give you a huge testament to you guys putting on a great event, but also raising a lot of money. That's something. Our events are not about raising money. Our events are about connecting people within real estate, right? And getting people together so that relationships can form. But we do try to raise money for our, organizations locally within the town, and we love it. And it's always challenging. It's not easy. People work hard for money. They don't want to just give it back. Even though Naples is very philanthropic, and people do love helping out and give. It's still not easy, right?
Yeah.
So huge testament to there. Now, you just dropped some exciting news. Second location, right?
Yeah. Yep. This is number 2.
So you outgrew your space, right?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Do you guys understand, like, in 3 years, like, that's crazy. And now I just learned too, there's incredible wait list of 3 digits of people, right? So 100 plus people on a wait list to get in as new clients. What do you think? Now, I know you're passionate about it, right? But from a business standpoint, if someone's out there and wants to grow their clientele, the biggest thing they can do is obviously get repeat business and make sure that they have a pipeline full of leads and a pipeline full of clients. You've mastered that in 3 years. Obviously, there were some sleepless nights, and you've grinded, right? You worked really hard to do that.
Some tears.
Oh, of course, there's got to be tears in it, right? So, what do you think, like, to that entrepreneur that's trying to get a pipeline full of leads and clients? How did you go about that, and what do you make sure within your culture of a business that you do?
I think for me, it was really, you can be great at your job, you can be great at what you do, but it is so important to connect with the client, to develop a relationship. It doesn't have to be, it just, that really connected personal relationship changes everything. I have clients I have a client just the other day, she called me just to say that she missed me and can't wait for her appointment. And it's just like, that's such a good feeling. And, it's just really listening to the client, and just, it's almost like I can't really explain. It's almost like you have love for your clients, and you want that to reflect during their treatment as well, and just taking care of them during their treatment,
It's crazy. At the end of the day, people do want to be loved, right? It's human nature. We want to be loved. We want to be cared for, and when you apply that into business, it's so critical, and it is a deal maker. It is something that will take your business from whatever level to extremely high. And it's not just your industry. It's not my industry. It's not anything. Just basic needs, basic communication, and you don't have to be over the top. I had this inspector, client of ours, and it was he was talking about, he's like, all I do is just see how they are. And I talk to them. He's like, guess what? I'm supposed to give them a report of the house on what's broken, right? And what needs to be fixed. Yeah. He's like, I still do that. But I go that extra little step and just how you doing? And talk with the, the homeowner. I talk with the realtor. And he's like, I think that's the reason that my business is way more further ahead and way more successful than other ones.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I love that you said that. And I think that's so big from a listener standpoint. They need to take that on and they need to apply that. So care for your clients is what it comes down to. Client care, right?
Yep. It's that unexpected personal touch.
Yeah. And that's the thing is it's also going to make your life 10 times better, right?
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah.
Because all these people, you can confide in them, you can talk with them, you can reach out to them, right? They're going to help you, they're going to refer you, and vice versa. It's just very symbiotic, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you have the new location, right? I know it's still in the works right now and getting all, vamped up and everything. What are some of the things you've done in your business I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're like kind of like shipping products and doing different things like that, right?
Yeah.
Did you think you were going to do that when you first started?
I had an idea of what I wanted. I kind of did a lot pretty quickly. I'd had an online store. I, had my own product line. It was more about, and I'm sure you're guilty of this. I know a lot of my, friends who are business owners are guilty of this. It's what's next? Like Tatiana and I talk about this all the time. Like,
Right.
we have a goal, we crush it. What's next? Like sometimes it is okay to like hang out and chill and enjoy what you've created. I have not done that yet. I'm like, what's next?
How do I do that?
How do you do that?
Can someone teach me that? If you can teach Erica that, let's help that.
I'm available. So yeah, I did actually see that becoming, a thing. I had started my store. I liked it. I wasn't in love with it, and anything that I put out, it has to be 100%. Like I'm not gonna, again, goes back to, halfway in, halfway out. I'm not gonna do that. So I shut my store down. And then the last year, as everything else is coming to fruition, we had started building that again. And next week it should be finished. So, which will be great. And the main thing is because I have clients all over the US. I mean, they're everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to cater to them even when they're away is like extremely important. So making sure they have the products that they need when they need them. And, it's been great.
It's awesome. So obviously you can't slow down. You can't stop and smell the roses and everything like that. But one of the things that I'm working on, and maybe it's something you're doing too, is like, processing and analyzing where you're currently at and just making small adjustments. Because I think that's going to be the biggest thing for me. Like, I'm not trying to like go crazy within Real Producers' visions, different things like that. Like, I'm not trying to like jump through all these hoops. I'm trying to just perfect things, right? And I think a lot of business owners, we are guilty, right? Because probably what we see on social media or different things, we're like, oh my gosh, like I have to do this huge new thing, or I need to implement this, big project within my business. Mm-hmm. But then it's everything else is sacrificed.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. The biggest thing for me is always going to be like my client results. I'm extremely results driven. And with that being said, that aspect of the business, it's more so of, you want to stay on top of the industry. Like what's new, there's always something new. There's always something else going on. So it's, I've traveled and I've gone to different states and I've met with different, estheticians who I actually, admire and I think are great. So I go to these places and I learn from them and we talk, and it's amazing to connect. Not just, in Naples, it's amazing. But really, expand and go outside the bubble.
Yep. We're in the Naples bubble.
Great.
So true. I love it. So after you kind of get this dialed in with the next part of the business, I know you got goals and stuff. Do you have any big dreams that you want to do? Maybe with the skin room or different, or like, what are your kind of some of your goals?
It's a surprise. There's
she won't
many
divulge
things
it.
happening.
All right.
So many things.
I guess we'll have to wait. We'll have to see until it goes public, right?
Oh, you will.
Well, good stuff. Okay, I'm going to pause here. He's going to cut this. We are right about 30 minutes, okay? So what I want to do is I want to just I want to ask you, is there a certain topic, some discussion, I'm going to talk about either business that we can give from a tips, tricks, those kind of things. Like, is there something you'd like to talk about? We have really good content already, and we're kind of around that threshold. But I want to give you the option to bring up a topic or something that we can discuss. Otherwise, I can wrap it up here, and end the podcast. But I want to give you the option to put anything in here.
I don't know. I feel like we covered a lot of things. I'm like,
you don't want to go another 4 hours?
I have nothing but time.
Yeah, we have no time. What are you talking about? Okay, I know you have no time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
We can end it.
Is it good?
Yeah. It's been a lot of good content. So that's why I'm like, but sometimes I cut it off and then people are like, oh, I wish we would have talked about this. So I like to ask right before at the end. So,
Well, thank you for that.
so Erica, I know you've obviously created a big business, and I think maybe people are going to reach out to you because, you know, they're struggling at certain points. And so if you're okay with it, I'm going to put your information below. And, you know, I just want to say thank you for coming on the Reginald Report, you know, blocking off a time in your busy schedule for me and the audience. You know, I personally admire a lot what you've built. You've worked hard for it. You deserve it. So congratulations to that.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming on here. It's not easy to, yeah. Thank you for like sharing it too. Like, you know, a lot of people want to like just post the good and post the, you know, high level stuff. And it's like, but like this podcast is about showing like, hey, it sucks. Like you mentioned, like I cried about, you know, like things like that. Like it's not easy. Right. And so like, I thank you for kind of letting your guard down and sharing with the audience, like, you know, this is what it is, right? And but also encourage them, right? Obviously, you're happy where you're at, you're passionate about it, so we appreciate you.
Absolutely, anything for you. Thank you.
Well, Erica, thank you. And we're here, obviously, at Venture X, and this is the Reginald Report. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next episode.